Just walking up from East Sydney or Darlinghurst, up the road, heading up to College Street. As I said, there's a bit going on. There's been a bit going on the last couple of days, and I just needed to get out and clear my head. So I thought I'd do a film. It's a Tuesday. We'll see in a moment what street we're coming up. Oh, this is College Street we're coming up to. But the street I'm parked in, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Francis Street. The street sign up there is bent over. So a corner of Francis Street and College. I don't know if you can see the police lights flashing on the corner down there. There's a bit of a protest going on. It took me a while to get down College and into Francis Street so I could park. There they are down there. You can see some police with their yellow vests on. I don't know what they're protesting about. I got my camera set on 60 frames per second. And normally walking around Sydney I'll have it set to 50 frames per second because of the region that we're in. If I set it to 60 normally and walk through like the shops, you get all that annoying LED flicker. So I thought it was a beautiful, nice sunny day today, and I'm going to walk around. I walked through Hyde Park for a little bit. I thought, nah, let's whack it on 60 frames per second. Make it a lot easier for my editing software as well. I noticed even when I was driving in, there's a ton of people in the park, just sitting around enjoying the sun. I'll stop and do the weather in a minute as well, but for now I'll just keep walking along. Yeah, have a look at them. Look at all the punters doing a bit of sunbathing. Gonna have to get a nectar while I'm out as well. Tell you what, pretty nice walking along here under the shade of the trees, and temperature is really nice, and we'll check in a moment to see exactly what the temperature is. I'm just looking around for somewhere that I can sit down for a second, put the camera down, check the weather. See, I can put it on top of one of these pylons here. There we go, that could work. That's Park Street that I had the camera facing down there. So let's skirt along here. I don't learn my lesson. I'm pretty sure last time I walked along here I got attacked by magpies. So hopefully it's not that time of the year. But yeah, the weather. So it's 20 degrees Celsius today in Sydney, which is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind's from the west at 7 kilometres an hour. So if we were down near the harbour, the water would be quite flat. But we're not going down to the harbour today. We're walking through Hyde Park. There's a couple of ibis in the park, fishing through the grass, looking for scraps. It is around lunchtime, but I can't believe how many people there are about. It's quite busy. Here's an ibis just here, look. It's running away from me. Lots of buses around too. Across Elizabeth Street we go. There's a Starbucks that all the tourists go to. I don't know whether you guys recall, but remember I focused on that flower shop over there a few videos back, and I said, oh, I might have a nectar in there next time I'm in the city. So maybe that's what we'll do. You see all that construction there on Park Street. They used to all be like Victorian terrace style buildings just there. They were only like 2-3 story, and they were full of like bookstores and all sorts of businesses like that. Now these massive buildings are going up, and underneath there's stations for the new metro rail that extends all the way from the northwest to Sydney into the city. Okay, we've got the green light. Let's try out this nectar in this flower shop. Motorcycle is keen as mustard. He almost ran me over. Alright, let's check this out. While we wait, we'll have a look at... Oh, of course, look. I've just come into the shop. Now the bloody LED light's flickering. Let me change that. Alright, let's try that again. Let's have a look at these delightful floral displays. Well, I've got it on the right setting. That one up in the window up there. 55 bucks each, those little bouquets there. They got in here, it's like a greenhouse. Oh, now look, there's a queue now. I have to wait a while I get my nectar, I think. That's why this place is popular. It's $3 coffee. I might stick the camera over here. Are you right, mate? Can I just get a small flat white to take away? Thank you. Thank you. There you go. $3 nectars. How good is that? I might sit down here while I wait. While we wait for the nectar as well, I've got a few people to thank. I'd like to thank Linda Watts. Thanks for shouting me some nectars, Linda. I really appreciate it. Also, Rogue Mayhem. Rogue Mayhem's back in town. He shouted me a few coffees as well. Thanks very much, mate. I appreciate it. I think I mentioned in the last video, Jim bought me a few coffees as well, but I'll mention him again just in case. So Jim, Rogue Mayhem and Linda Watts, thanks very much. This nectar's on you. So yeah, Bloom's Coffee on the corner of Park and Castlereagh Street. $3 coffees. That's unheard of in Sydney. Most of them are $4 and upwards these days. So remember that next time you're in the city, if you want a cheap nectar, come into Bloom's. I won't bore you any longer waiting for the coffee to arrive. I'll rejoin you when we get out in the street, and I'll switch the camera back to 60 frames per second. Just turned the corner into Elizabeth Street after finishing that nectar. Is the microphone working? Yeah. And I thought I might as well walk down Elizabeth Street, and I'll leave the camera on 50 frames per second so we don't get the LED flicker from these shops. And then I might walk around into Castlereagh Street. And then for today, just for the little stroll, I'll call it quits. Passing by the Great Synagogue in Elizabeth Street. If you want to know what that place is that we just passed, it's called the Bambini Wine Room. It's Dalton House and the Tattersalls Club are the entrance. Close waiting to get in. As I walk along here, there's a few shifty looking characters. Looking a bit worried with me and my camera. Whenever I see this statue here, it reminds me of Michael Jackson. It reminds me when he came to town and stayed here. So I remember a time where he stayed here at this hotel. It's a Sheraton Hotel, or the Grand Sheraton. I think they also call it Sheraton on the Park as well. But yeah, when he came to Sydney, he definitely stayed in there, because I remember seeing those statues on the news in the background as he was getting out of his limo. Hit a couple of fancy shops now on the corner of Elizabeth and Market, just passing by the Fendi store. Passing by Van Cleef. Don't ask me how much that jewellery costs, but it's obviously a lot given you have to have an appointment and line up outside. I wonder if that tunnel up there is still open, or that tunnel bridge up there. Let's go and have a look. I don't think it is, but I'll try to get in there. Just in the Piccadilly Arcade right now. Doesn't look like it is. actually nowhere near the bridge. I don't know how you get to it, to be honest. There's that Palace Chinese restaurant that's really popular for yum cha in there. Well, that was a bit of a waste of time. I was going to say it looked pretty dark and dingy in there. Say they've probably got it closed off. There it is up there. How do you get up there? Sorry about that delay there. Skipped a bit of distance. But I wanted to take a few shots on my mobile phone, and also wanted to change the battery. I'm also back on 60 frames per second, which I think is better for the nice sunny weather we got. Just give you a look at this little entrance into St James's Station. This is another way you can get into St James's Station. There's a tunnel down there. It shows you the distance the train station covers underneath the park. So there's the entrance there. And then the other entrance on Elizabeth Street's all the way over there. Past where those people are walking. So yeah, quite an underground complex, St James's Station. I deliberately came this way because I don't normally walk down this part of Hyde Park. So I thought for a change I'll walk in the other direction. Look, there's another entrance to St James's Station across the road. And there's that delightful Jardin St James, that coffee shop over there. You have to forgive my French, it's not very good. Jardin or however you pronounce garden in French. Surely this old mate over here's Macquarie. Surely, come on. Yep, delightful. Lachlan Macquarie. You remember one of the last videos I did where I did the Sydney sunset. I walked past that statue on Macquarie Street and said, "Oh, is this Governor Macquarie?" and it turned out to be Matthew Flinders. So I was totally off. But we got him that time. So now we know where we can find him. At the start of Hyde Park on the Macquarie Street side. There's the old Archibald Fountain in all its glory. Last time we came past there wasn't much water in it and the fountains weren't operating. And lucky enough to see it in action today. Which side should we go on? Should we go on the sunny side or the shady side to get the best picture? I think the shady side, and then we can capture a bit of St Mary's Cathedral as well as we're making the turn. Had no idea the fountain was so popular with tourists. They're all standing there getting selfies and photos. Maybe it's something they point out in a travel guidebook or something, I don't know. I wonder what that little green pillbox is over there. Wonder if it's just got some gardening tools or whether it's phone lines or power lines. Look at these size of these trees coming into frame now. Take this opportunity to flip around and face down towards King's Cross, Darlinghurst Way. Those buildings that you see there, that one that says TTG 80 and Harder's, that's on William Street. Tell you what, I'm still delighting in the effects of that coffee that we bought just before. What a find, eh? $3. $3 flat white. $3 coffee in Sydney. They haven't been $3 for probably 10 years. They were $3.50 for a long time. I can't even remember the last time they were $3. I call it 3 bones, if you will. Only 3 bones. Those nectars. So get into it. Oh, look at these lovely old lampshades. They're back in the old days, probably full of gas. Oh, here we go. Look down William Street, you can see the Coke sign in the distance. King's Cross. Here we are back where we started. So not too much longer and then I'll have to say goodbye. Again, not really a planned walk today. I just felt like getting out in my lunchtime and just have a walk around in the fresh air. So I hope you don't mind. Still the punters in the park, trying to catch the last of the afternoon sun. What time is it now? Let's have a look. It's 2:30. Some of them will be heading back to their office tower and the kids will be back in the classroom for their last class of the day before they head off home, get on the school bus, get on the train. War Memorial directly in front of us. Again, a bit weird for tourists to come and get their photo next to the War Memorial, I think. I'm not sure what interest tourists would have in the wars that Australia's fought and the people that we've lost. I think they'd be more interested in their own country, but good on them. See all the different angled parks in Hyde Park, or single angled paths, I should say. There's a path there, there's a path there, path we came down, there's a path there, there's a path there, paths everywhere. You can imagine in the old days, getting around in their Victorian clothes, taking a walk in the park, taking their constitutional walk in the park. We're going to be treated to the noise of hundreds of fire engines now, by the sounds of things. Lucky they've gone the other way. Let's take the route that many punters take through Hyde Park. So they come from the city over there and they walk their way up here into Oxford Street. Bin chickens. Super keen for some of that girl's lunch. There's a Pullman Hotel there, overlooking the park, right next door to the Hyde Park Plaza. Oh, look, they get interviewed there, look. And as we make our way around this cannon here and look up Oxford Street. Well, thank you for taking the little skirt around, the unplanned skirt around the city today. And I'll see you in the next vid. Send your comments through. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. The video is over.